Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session in our ongoing BlackLine webinar series. Today, we will focus on task management and how to leverage its functionality. The agenda for today, which I will cover, is the brief introduction to Continuate and today's presenters, the overview of BlackLine Task Management module, the key use cases for tasks management. We will go through a live demo, and we will finish with practical next steps and a Q&A session. But if you have any questions at any point, please do add them to the Q&A chat. We will address them at the end of the session. So let's start with who we are as Continuate. We are boutique consultancy where Continuate is an old English meaning means uninterrupted continuous. And we focus predominantly on records to reports transformations, although we also manage full scope ERP projects as well for our clients. We support finance and shared services transformations, BlackLine implementations and optimizations, post-implementation support, and continuous improvement. Our core service lines are focused, as you would expect, on people, process, and technology. And often all of these three are included in our scope of work with clients. We don't only talk about implementation, we talk about the transformation, and we deliver the transformation quickly with a focus on adoption. We are being agile and delivering value with an added benefit to our client, which can be recognized with awards. As today, I will be the only presenter. I'm Emilia Koczubowska. I'm an implementation consultant and chartered management accountant with over 3 years of BlackLine delivery experience covering solution design, implementation, and hypercare, plus a hands-on experience as both a reconciliation preparer and approver. So let's dive into the task management overview. Let's start with the challenges we typically see today and how task management addresses these. Organizations already maintain multiple tasks lists, and you may as well. The challenge is that those tasks are often tracked across spreadsheets, emails, team messages, and personal to-do lists. Many organizations manage those close activities using Excel trackers, individual task lists, shared network files, or email reminders and Teams messages. And this creates several issues, like no single source of truth, with manual follow-ups and lack of automated workflow. The visibility of the progress is limited, and it's very difficult to identify bottlenecks. And the management reporting is limited, often delayed, without a real-time oversight. There is also no audit trail, no visibility into work instructions directly linked to the task, and the processes seem to be very disconnected, while in reality, action items may depend on each other, and once one is not completed on time, the whole hierarchy of tasks downstream may be delayed as well. But it is very difficult to see at times. Here you see some examples of the challenges which may resonate with you, like no workflows and notifications, where people can say that they manually track due dates, they update the supervisor on progress and chase the colleagues via email, via Teams chat, and update on progress on status calls. And the review confirmations are exchanged via email, but they don't They are not stored in any central place. In terms of manual process reporting, they may have various checklists, and in spreadsheets, they report on progress to the management via email, and they don't have centralized real-time progress dashboards. So the teamwork is quite limited. They they obviously know their individual tasks, but they not know what the other teammates need to do. We do experience that there is a high dependency on a specific person to complete certain tasks. They are not available. It's very challenging for the teammates to cover. Also, as I mentioned before, the processes may seem very disconnected. Sometimes the tasks may be delayed because someone else delayed their work, but these dependencies are not always clear to that person performing the task, or it's not visible for the supervisor. So people may struggle with managing the expectations of their supervisors. Task management in BlackLine is relatively straightforward to implement and adapt, but it can deliver significant benefits in terms of the governance, visibility, and process control. It takes the existing activities that you may have in spreadsheets and places them into a structured workflow. It is configurable electronic checklist system that helps you plan and monitor your work. A task in BlackLine Task Management, which is every activity that needs to be carried out, has ownership, status, and evidence of completion. All of these are visible within BlackLine. Let me quickly take you through the key benefits. Benefit 1 is the workflow and notifications. The tasks are assigned to individuals. The workflow options include preparer and optional as well to 2 levels of reviewers. Tasks are certified directly within BlackLine, and upon certification, users in workflow receive tasks automatically, and they can receive as well a notification that something is due for them to perform. A segregation of duties embedded for tasks so that the same person cannot certify the same task twice, for example, as a preparer and also as an approver. And in practice, we've seen approver and reviewer levels used only for genuinely critical controls. For BlackLine can send notifications for upcoming tasks, for due tasks and overdue tasks. Also, it does notify about tasks awaiting approval, and notifies whenever a user is mentioned within comment section. This significantly reduces the manual chasing and status meetings. The next benefit is real-time close visibility. The tasks are tracked with clear due dates, automatically calculated each period for recurring tasks. The tasks are reportable and auditable, and by utilizing the dashboards and reporting, analytics, staff and also management can instantly answer the questions such as where we are at the close, which activities are outstanding, which teams are delayed, and what is blocking the completion of certain tasks. So instead of relying on static spreadsheets, the dashboards are updated in real time. Also, the audit trail provides visibility into who and when certified a task. Tasks are supported by team structure and that allows for greater visibility across the team, as the tasks are assigned not only to individuals, but also to teams. So if a user is unavailable, a team mate can pick that up and without any need for administrators to reassign the ownership. This reduces the key person dependency, as the detailed task instructions, policies, procedures all can be linked directly to a task within BlackLine, so that the person covering can easily pick up the task on behalf of someone else. Collaboration is also enhanced as users can communicate directly within the task record, leave comments, and they can mention their colleagues, and then the colleagues will get notification with a direct link to the task. They can also share any relevant documentation. All of this will be saved in one central place. For BlackLine also supports connected processes. The task dependencies feature allows you to structure your tasks in a parent and child relationship for the end-to-end process, visibility, and process tracking, so that the parent task can be certified only once the subordinate activities are certified. Auto-certification can be turned on for the parent task to certified without human intervention. So when all the subtasks are complete, the parent task can automatically certify and be marked as complete. Not only tasks can be connected to one another, but also cross-product dependency can be established. So if you have other modules, other BlackLine modules implemented, such as account reconciliations or journal creation, you can link specific account reconciliation, like key journals, to the tasks as well. Just to clarify a couple of misconceptions that can initially arise, task management doesn't need to be limited only to finance-related tasks. Tasks related to other business areas, such as HR, for example, can also be added to the platform. Also, the tasks don't need to be BlackLine related. You can track in BlackLine tasks that are not performed within the platform. But if you have other modules implemented, such as journals creation, you may want to link an action to create a specific journal to your task list. As long as the team is allocated to a task, it's not necessary to add a specific preparer. So not all the tasks need to have an assigned specific user. And if a collective responsibility is what works for the team, we can agree to allocate only a team to a task. We can also allocate different frequency to different tasks, so not all the tasks must have the same frequency. Also, not all the tasks need to have dependencies. You may want to structure your task into a dependency tree, but it's not required. You can still track them without setting up dependencies and like a hierarchy list of tasks. The ongoing maintenance for tasks management is limited once the tasks are initially loaded at implementation. The recurring tasks will roll forward to the next period. So once the next period is opened for them, there is no need for the admin to maintain these tasks period to period. The only thing that we need to remember, if a task is not needed to roll forward to the next period, the system will not flag, will not know which task needs to be ended. So the team needs to, or like the supervisor, the business needs to work with the BlackLine admin to flag which tasks need to be removed, and then the admin will be able to add the end date to the task. And that will prevent the task to roll forward to the next period. So let's now move to the typical use cases. The immediate use cases where most clients start with to gain visibility and increase control are recurring finance activities like month-end close, quarterly controls, year-end activities. A surprisingly very useful case is for BlackLine administration task list, where especially for clients that are just at the beginning of their journey with BlackLine, we always support our clients and provide them the list of activities BlackLine admins need to complete. For example, with activities such as user reviews, monitoring failed jobs, like integration jobs or master data maintenance. So when thinking of use cases, you don't need to limit yourself to finance. Think big and start small. So start with the critical process checklists, and when the organization matures with BlackLine tasks, clients usually expand to additional use cases, such as recurring journals, audit request tracking, budgeting, timetables, forecast processes, also compliance activities like financial stat preparation, also other non-finance operation processes like HR workflows. So yes, task management is not limited to finance, and any repeatable process can be managed within the platform. So how to bring the use cases to life? Follow these 3 steps. Develop and agree critical tasks. Think about what the critical tasks are in terms of output, and also where you want the visibility over tasks when it is important for the management to have that real-time insight. Think about the ones that cause pain points today. Maybe you want to find the bottleneck, and then convert and load the existing timetables. So for your use cases, once you have you've been comfortable with the lists that you already have, you can expand and build over time to roll forward to the next use cases. Think about setting up dependencies and hierarchy trees, and to just give that visibility over the end-to-end process. Some of you may already have task management implemented, not fully utilizing it, but wanting to bring it to life. Continuate can support you in your optimization journey. So have a think where you are now. How do you manage activities? How many teams and systems are involved? Can you see the bottleneck where the cycle slows down? And check what BlackLine tools are you licensed for. In the next step, think how to implement changes in your task management module. These may be easy to make and may bring value very quickly, like changing frequencies or end dates, maybe configuring dashboards to better address the needs of management, and see potential in the future, and where you could view end-to-end process across systems and BlackLine modules like journals and recs. The Studio 360 is a separate module that can bring you advanced orchestration and visualization of all your processes. Are there any questions at this stage before I move to the BlackLine instance for live demonstration? Okay, so far no questions. Okay, we will have still the chance to tackle any questions at the end of the session. So I will now move to BlackLine instance. And we'll start as the executive to show you this is the home page where I have 3 tabs, which will give me that oversight and allow me to monitor tasks progress in real time. So the close operations dashboard is where only tasks related to the financial close will be reflected. So you can see, for example, how many tasks I have under my space, then how many are not prepared, like percentages of tasks in progress and also completed, all in one page. Here, this is the dashboard that is also for reconciliations, but we can scroll down for further insights into tasks. So we have a percentage completion progress per the status of the task, whether it's not prepared, rejected, system decertified, prepared, and so on, auto-certified as well. We also see right away how many are past due, and we have also a little bit more view into past due tasks by active assignee and past due tasks by entity. In my work tab, this is a tab that is personalized for my needs. So I can update these cards and that updates will not affect other users. So for example, I have here task certification status so here I have a status at the bottom. Here I have certification status, but also displaying how many are their tasks to prepare, not prepare by the level of risk. And I can simply edit this task dashboard by adding a card. So there are like templates that I can use. So for the task certification, for example, I can pick this one, and here I can update this to my needs. So for example, I want to focus only on specific entity, for example, and specific risk. I can use the data tab here and filter by entity, for example, pick Atlanta fly, and I can add another filter by risk. And let's say I'm interested only to see the high risk tasks. So that's now done. And this now updated and just shows me the company. Also, I can also update this name at the top, so I can only also add here that it's high risk. Atlanta. So yeah, that's as simple as that. This is the way how we can personalize our dashboard. That's done. I will now switch to the preparer. And here we are at the home page, where we can see a little card with the tasks due and past due. So, and also a card where I can see how many tasks as well I need to prepare, or maybe they are prepared already, maybe they are reviewed if there were some reviewed. Reviewed status actually means that this task went through the whole workflow and now it's completed. Once, if there is an approver and the tasks that have been approved, but they need to be still going through the workflow and they are pending approval either from approver or from actually from approver, then they are shown here as prepared. Once, if there is in the workflow, if there is an approval and reviewer required, then once the task is approved, it would jump into the approved section. Once it is approved, it will jump into review and will close the workflow. So from here, all these digits, they work as like hypercare. I can directly go into a task by navigating through that hyperlink and go into a task directly from here. But also there is another way of doing so when we go through the tasks and view task progress. The task progress grid shows me quite a lot more of details. We can see the whole list of tasks allocated to me. So I can see there's my name under preparer, the status. I can see which tasks I need to prepare, which are already completed, so reviewed. There is this indication here with this dependency tree, which the tasks have a dependent tasks linked to them. There is also indication whether or not I want the task to be auto-certified once the subordinate tasks are completed. I can also see what team has been allocated to this task, the entity. There are level of categorization that we can assign the tasks so that we can have better possibilities for reporting and filtering. We can see, of course, the description of task and whether or not it is a financial close activity. There are some more references if we need to, but there's also the due dates are visible. So when the task is due for approver, for preparer, for a reviewer. When the reviewer is not needed, then we can see this NA indication and we can see the due dates visible here. We can also set up a certain time by when we want the task to be completed. So at any point in time, I know exactly where the task sits within its life cycle. I will now go to one of the tasks with dependency, maybe one of the prepared. So this is really complex. Some dependencies we could maybe see 2 or 3 tasks linked to each other. This is very very complicated, but like complex. I will just pick a bit less complex one. See this one. Okay. Just to mention as well, there is the option. So I at the moment I see only my my tasks, but I can also switch to the team assignments. So I can see other team members' tasks if I need to back up and prepare the complete the task for them. I can do this through that view and go into the task from the task grid or from the homepage as well. So let me just pick this one. This one is not prepared. Okay, like, well, this is another example that is very complex, but it does have some tasks which are linked to the reconciliation. So this is really good example to show you. For example, this task here for the prepaid closing activities, we can see there is a prepaid property taxes reconciliation. We can directly navigate from this view to the reconciliation. For some reason, this one doesn't pick it up, but it should. Okay, so I need to have a reconciliation done on that period, that dependency on that period. But you can navigate normally from that list to the reconciliation, or if there's a link to the journal creation, like journal masters, if you are using journal module, you can also connect the tasks to to journal preparation. The black flag here, it does give us indication that the auto certification will kick in once the once the subordinate tasks are completed. So just going back to the home page, as I mentioned, also this card shows me just mine tasks, but we can flip them to the team view, and I can see the tasks that need to be completed by teams, which I need to be assigned to the team to be able to view the team tasks. In terms of so let's go to one of the not prepared tasks to have a look how the task itself in BlackLine looks like. We have the task like ID at the top with the description. There's some metadata here in the information box where we can see who is allocated, who is assigned to the task as preparer, approver, whether there is reviewer required. The audit trail is also available here. Once I certify the task, it will be updated with my name. The certification date will also appear here. What is very important for that, for reducing the dependency on a certain person, is to fill in the sections for purpose of the task and adding instructions related to that specific task so that it's easier for teammates to pick up the task once we are away. And the same we can see on the face of that task here, so it's very easy to navigate the collaboration. Oh, sorry, seems that it's just refreshing. So there are also features such as comments and supporting documents, so that's enhanced collaboration. Here we can add comments, mention our colleagues. If we need, for example, more information, or we can request it directly here through the task comments. So that all the communication stays in the same place and it's linked to that task. We can add documents, so anything that is related to the task also can be attached directly here. And yeah, I can certify the tasks here. At the bottom, I can also have a look into whether there are dependencies. So yeah, here is just one task that is dependent, very easy. And for the preparer, on the home screen, once the task would be certified that the card can be refreshed, and that will refresh the status as we work. So real life updates happen here on the dashboard. On the preparer, on any role, the dashboards can be updated, so we can edit here as well and add some analytics cards here. So for example, I can add that card to, for example, view only my high risk tasks. Okay. Update that one and use the filter to just show me high risk, for example. The moment I don't have, but this one doesn't refresh. Maybe when I refresh, it will show the figures. Still refreshing. Yeah. So now I have just high risk tasks to focus on. So that's also, we can personalize our dashboard as a preparer. So yeah, this BlackLine basically shows us at any point how exactly where we are with our task, what needs to be completed, and how far in the progress we are. Are there any questions? I can see a hand up. And there is a question in the chat. Okay. So the first question is, how do you link a reconciliation to a task? You can link reconciliation to a task by once on the time that you set up your task, there is a import template that your admin would be able to use to add the reconciliation details, so that the details of the reconciliation that you want to link to. That's very, very simple for the admin to do so. You would just need to provide the information which reconciliation you want to link to which task. The next question, can BlackLine have multiple closed calendars to take account of public holidays in different countries? If not, how can you handle this? So the answer is yes. You have you can set up locations and link to these locations the specific holiday calendars for that location to be applied to, and these locations are then assigned to the task, so that the task due dates will be calculated accordingly based on these specific holidays for holiday calendar for that location. So yes, the answer, there are multiple closed calendars that can be used. Can you show an example of how to create a new task? Yes, we have 2 minutes, but I think I still have like 2 slides to cover. So maybe if you can stay a bit later, once I cover the slides after, I can then show how to create a new task. So that's for Jan, if that's okay. Okay, I see the hand was up, now it's down, so I guess I just answered the question from the chat panel. Right, so I'll just go back to the back. So that was our demo, and so next, what we recommend to start or optimize your task management. Please assess which products are best for you across the BlackLine platform. Review your critical periodic checklist outside of BlackLine. Review which activities currently rely on the spreadsheets and manual chasing, which close processes would benefit most from visibility, where are your biggest month-end bottlenecks today. Also think about how quickly your management expects you to report on close progress. And when maybe there are some tasks that you have already in BlackLine, but you have not touched them since go live. So you may want to also check these and review these with your team. Once you review your critical periodic checklist, identify use cases that can leverage task management to increase the visibility, the governance, and the control. Work with your BlackLine administrator. You can also work with us, Continuate, to set up your tasks in BlackLine. And ongoing perform a review of your existing tasks, check your due dates, end dates, workflows, alerts, dependencies. So remember that if you need support in launching or optimizing task management, we are here. Contact Continuate team and we can support you. So there was a Q&A. We are a bit of behind the time. I will, for those that cannot stay longer, I Thank you for joining us. If there are any other questions, feel free to contact me or anyone from our Continuate team. If you need more, you would like to have more discussion about Go Live or optimization, please reach out. The recording of the session will be shared with attendees, and I encourage to follow us, Continuate on LinkedIn. We do give you updates on upcoming webinars, so I hope that I will see you soon on the next webinar. So the last question was whether I share the presentation. The presentation will not be shared, but the recording will be shared. So Rian, if you are okay to stay, I can show quickly how to create a new task. So for the new task creation, I will just switch to the system admin. And as the admin, I can go into this create section and for tasks, create new task. And I can manually insert the details. So allocate the team, entity, all my categories that they are set up for that for the organization. So that would be personalized, like well, it would be configured to the company needs, right? So you would just feel like select your options. You would add here the policy, purpose, instructions, and you have here the option to select whether it's recurring or one-time task. Most of the time we see people using the task management for recurring tasks, and here you would specify whether it's close related activity or not to be sure that the task is or not displayed on that close activities dashboard for the executives. You have also here the date when you start with your task and the end date. Normally you would just leave it blank to ensure that the recurring task will, if it's recurring task, you would not add the end date so that you make sure that the recurring task will roll forward to the next period. Once the task is not required anymore, the admin can update that end date and can add the end date where you want to remove the task from roll forward. So here you can also add a location, which then that location would be linked to the holiday calendar. You can specify whether you have auto certification to kick in for the task, whether you need a dual level review where if you want the next person to be notified in workflow and so on. So the users as well can be here is where you allocate the users. So that's really it. Like it's very simple to add a new task. If you have a bulk a lot of tasks to add, then I would suggest to use the BlackLine import templates. I'm not going to go through that, just considering the time we are at. So I'm just going to check what's in the chat at the moment. Okay, great. So I hope that I answered all the questions. I see that the ones that they were in the chat and everything is clear. Great, it's clear. Thanks, Rian, for joining us. So have a good day, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Goodbye.